This new project that you're going to do is a continuation of the Rich Text Box project. In this project, we are going to learn how to bring up an open dialog box, how to set its parameters, and to actually open some sort of file and bring its text into a rich text box. Likewise, we're going to do the same with the save or save as, and we're going to do these things with menus so you can see how to put menus on your projects. First, the open dialog box. The open dialog box has several parts to it, and as you can see right here, it has the word open, and that's really just about the only difference between it and the Save As dialog box. I put it in a certain format here. I put it in small icons just so you can see there's differences, and you can set these up the way you'd like them. The shared documents up here, you see, that's called my initial directory. It's the initial folder that's going to be shown down in this area down here. Okay? Two other areas of importance are the file name box, and it's this property or file name box that we're going to get the file name from when we actually get ready to save our rich text box or to open a rich text box. And finally, this is actually called the filter down here, and it tells you what items are displayed up here in this area. The filter is used with extensions usually, and we'll show you how to set those up. And the extensions tell, the asterisk means anything before the dot, but only POT after the dot. And you can see you can have a number of them here, and I'll show you how these choices work and how we can do these. Okay, that's the open dialog box. It doesn't really open anything. I want to stress that. When you push the open button here, if you haven't written the code to open it yourself, nothing happens. Really the only purpose for this box is to give you a file name right there, and that's the thing that you're letting your user pick. Let's go on and look at the Save As dialog box. The Save As dialog box, very similar to the Open dialog box, exception being it says Save As up here and then Save In here. And again, initial directory, just like before, and these are things you have to set up before you call the open. I put it in a slightly different format for you to see here. Okay. Next thing is, this is an important part down here, the file name, and I typed a file name in. I typed it in correctly, of course. This is the PowerPoint you're going to see, but it's not a close, it's a save. And I retyped that before I went on. And of course the filter, and the only filter I have on this is the PPT filter, and there's that in the filter box down there. Okay. Again, when I press this save button, nothing gets saved. You have to have the code to save it, and we're going to show you how to write that code. It's real simple with a rich text format. It's a little more complicated with other formats. This cancel button down here you should be warned about. Doesn't really cancel anything. So be warned, when you press it, it's just going to go on. If you haven't put a file name in here, you're going to get an error. And we need to show you how to do error coding later. But for now, we just want to teach you how to save. The last thing we're going to take a look at in this little video is we're going to look at the menu bars. Now the menu bar right here is one, and this happens to be the menu bar of Visual Basic Express, and that's the menu bar up here. This is a toolbar, folks. Icon bar, many names for it, and it can be detached and held separately, or it can be up against the menu bar. But the menu bar is what we're going to work on right now. Important thing to remember is that the menu bar has some definite order to it. File is always first. Edit is almost always second. From there on, it's kind of flaky until you get to the end, and the last thing is always help. Two important ones to remember: help at the end on the right side and file on the left side. Very standard. Whenever you're making your applications, you should make them in this fashion. This example down here shows with the file open. So when you click on File, this drop-down menu takes effect, and here are the two we're going to look at today: Open and Save All, or Save. We're just going to call it Save. There are others, of course, and different things in here, and we'll probably put an exit in ours also, just to make it nice. But that's what the menu looks like. And of course there can be sub-menus. Look at this. That indicates a sub-menu out here to the side, doesn't it? I'll show you those also. We're going to do a few things with the menu bar. Okay, with that idea, let's go on, and I'm going to demonstrate how these are put in step by step, so you'll be able to follow them and it'll be fairly easy for you to do. Okay. In this project, I've already made a rich text box. This is a rich text box, and let me quickly name it properly. Coming up here, we're going to say rich TX words. So we've got rich text box words, and so that's properly named now. And the form has been named, and let's see, has it been named properly? Let's check it out here. Go up to the form, and the form has been named OpenSaveMenus. That's good. Let me just pull this open a little bit more so we can see it a little better. There we go. Okay, let's put in the dialog boxes first. And the first dialog box I'm going to put in is going to be the Open dialog box. And to do that, we again come down to dialog boxes. Where is it? Come on down here. And dialogs, I hadn't even opened it yet. Let's close printing. Close components. We don't need all those. Okay, here's dialog box. And of course you see here's the open. So let's bring it across, click it, and I'll just click here and it automatically comes down here. And of course we want to name it again. And the name for this one is going to be DLG Open. Oh, what did I do wrong? That's right. Okay, DLG Open. File name, we're not going to put anything in that file name right there. You can pre-slug a file name in there, and then it'll come up with that file name automatically for you. But I'd rather start without it. All right, let's go to the other one. That would be the save, which is the save as. Click it. There it is. And naming it will be DLG. Try it again. G. Save. Okay, so we got DLG Open and DLG Save. That'll be enough for this one. We have a rich text box here. Let's begin by getting our menu now. And the menu we're going to put right up here at the top. So if I go to my toolbox again, and I come down to menus and toolbars, and I want a menu strip as the thing. You see there's different things here. Data strip, which is at the bottom usually of your form, a tool strip, and a tool strip container. So you can have containers with tool strips in them. Alright, so let's concentrate on what we're doing here. Menu strip. I click it. I come up, I click it, and bingo, I've got my menu strip in there. Menu strips we're going to name MNU, and I'm going to call this MNU main, okay? MNU main, because that's going to be my main menu strip. Okay. Some people like to call it strips. Now to add menu items to these things is fairly simple. Click here. Now if you look down here, you've got some choices. I could use a menu item, which is what I want, a combo box, or a text box. I've never used combo or text boxes on these things, so I'm not going to try. I'm just going to click in that thing, and it gives me a text thing. And the first menu I said was File. File, okay. And under File, I think I want to click right here, and we're going to put, how about Open? And then under Open, let's put Save. Okay. Now, under Save, I'm going to draw a line, and watch how I do this. If I get back out here and drop that arrow down, separator, there we go. And now I'm going to click in there, and I'm going to do Exit. You should capitalize it. Okay, that's enough for that one. Let's go up here again. Okay. And I'm going to come back and rename them, by the way. Let's put a Tools. Okay, I'm just going to make a Tools menu. And we'll come back to that one. And then I'm going to click here, and let's make a, how about a Help? Even though we probably won't use it. Okay, here's how we have to name these. Let's start back with the File. We're on the File menu now. See, it says Name File, Tools, Strip Menu Item. Nah, we don't want that. Here's what you want to put in here. You want to put MNU FILE File. Okay, makes life simpler. Okay, now what about submenus? Well, they also have to be named. And here's what they have to be named. Okay, we're going to come back down to the naming of this. It's MNU, but you name it with the name of the menu it's under. So subnames can get fairly long, especially if there's a number of levels of them. So this would be File, Open. Okay. Then let's take a look at this one. Save, therefore, would be what? File, MNU. Better get on this thing first. Come on, here we go. MNU, File, Save, right? And it looks as though I messed my text up here. That should be Save. Okay, now let's try this one. Exit. Well, yeah, same deal. MNU, File, EXIT, Exit. Okay. And we only have the tools, so let's just name it now. MNU, TOOLS, Tools. Okay. And so now we're going to name the Help. There we go. MNU, HELP, Help. Okay. Alright, so now we have them properly named. Alright, so here are my menus. Here are my submenus. Let's say I would like to put some code into this. Now, I already have this code typed, so it's not going to take me long to type it. But basically, under the Open, I want to put the Open code, and I'm going to explain it as I get it in. I double-click on it. By double-clicking on it, that brings up this one. Private sub, menu file open, okay, and all this other stuff. These, by the way, are called parameters, and sometimes you use them. Sender, you can find out which button click this, or which menu click this. And the event args, or the event arguments, there's a whole lot of things in there that are useful for programmers that have a higher ability than we want to cover in this course. At this time, what I'm going to do is I'm going off the screen here, and this is the Open one. So I'm going to quickly copy some code I have here and bring it across and paste it back in here. There we go. Alright, so now we have the code, and you'll notice it's making a complaint here about file name because I haven't declared it. This is a variable, and it's a string variable. So I guess I better go up and do everything I usually do here. Okay. Apostrophe. Try again. Okay, and this is 5-4-08, And oops, should put an apostrophe there. Oh, let's see. This is OpenSaveMenu. All right, good. Option EX explicit on. Okay, good. And now down here to dim some variables. Dim SFILENAME. Try that again. NAME name as STR. There it is. Good. Okay. At this point, that's all I need in this. Let's go down through and let me explain what all these parts are. Okay, here goes. In this first one right here that we're looking at, this line right here, okay, DLG open. Now our open dialog box was DLG open. Dot filter. Remember at the bottom I said this filters. This is how we establish the filter. Now I've got two filters I'm putting in. I first put the words I want you to see, and then a vertical bar, and then the code which gives me that particular file type. Rich text files always end in RTF for rich text file. And so if I have .rtf and then an asterisk here, an asterisk means anything. So that's what that means right there. Okay. And then it's always nice as the last item in a menu or in the filter list to have all files and then a vertical bar. And you notice these things are separated. Vertical bars are the things that separate these things. And then what we used to call star, meaning everything. Everything will show up under that. So that's how you set up a filter. The next thing I set up is the initial directory. Remember, that was at the top of the screen. Where do I want it to look? Well, I've decided to set it up in a place called Application Start Path. Well, the Application Start Path is where you started running this program from. And that might not be the best place. Maybe Home Directory would be a better place for you. So in which case you'd put inside quotes here, if you're going to do this without a special variable like I've done it here, you could put in there quote H:/quote, and it would come and start in your H drive then. So those are ways of getting the initial directory set up. Then we want to show the dialog box. You've done this before. Open dialog show. After we've chosen a file in that box, we want to get the file so that we can write it out to the disk. So that we can bring it in from the disk, so we can open it up. And we do that with file name. I use a string variable called file name. And I go ask the dialog box, the open dialog box, for the file name. And if you remember, data flows that direction. It doesn't flow left to right, it flows right to left. So data, we're going to get it from this side and put it over in the S file name. Finally, we're going to open up that file and load it in. And that's all done in one fell swoop. It just happens. And that's what's nice, and this is why this your first introduction to files, this is the easiest way to do it. All we do is we say rich text box words has a special load file method attached to it. And all you have to give it is the proper file name, which we gave it from the file name up here. And it will automatically load it into the rich text box for you. You don't have to worry about reading lines or characters or worry about end of file characters or anything that a normal file read when you're doing a stream read has. Okay, that's the open one. How about saving it? Well, we got to go back to the design now. So let me get out of this mode and into this mode. And let's go double click the save. And again, I have some code. Notice right down here, you'll see that we've got that file menu save. Okay, S-A-M-E. Did I name that wrong? I sure did. Let's wipe it out and do it right. All right. Don't you just love it? I don't want to do that. I want to come over here. SA. Yeah, we can do a better job than that. AV. That looks better. Okay. Now we double click. Ah, so much better. Okay. And again, I have code saved over off the screen. I'm going to go get that code right now. And copy it and paste it right in here. And the first thing you're going to notice is that it's pretty much the same as the code we've just gone over. Okay? One minor difference. But anyways, let's just do a quick review. So that you have this line right here, initial directory. You can set it up quote, went to quote, right? H colon, I'm not going to write all that out, quote. You have to put them in quotes, though, if you're going to do that, okay? So quote, H colon, quote. The save filter, again, I did the same thing. You could add other things. If you want a text file, you'd say like text files and then asterisk.txt. You could put that in there, and you just separate these things, vertical bars. Okay, then I show the dialog box. Then after someone selected a file name, and I want to stress that the selecting the file name is all this dialog box does. It doesn't save a thing, because we then go get the file name, and this is what does the saving right here. That thing right there writes it to disk and takes care of the end of file marker and everything else. So all we have to do is give it a file name and the type of thing we want written, the type of path, and there it is right there. That's kind of standard. You have to put that in for a rich text box, just the way you see it there. Rich text box stream type. Reading and writing in computers is done with a stream, and in this rich text box stuff, they try to keep you away from that as much as possible, making it as simple as possible. In real disk I/O work, where you want to be able to jump around the file and get what you want, it becomes a lot more difficult. But for your first introduction, this is a great way to do it. Okay, terrific. We've got that all set up and running now. That will work. Let's see if it works. Going to give it a save here. Let's see if I can do this. Save all. And it's going to save. I've already previously saved this in a file folder like I wanted to. And we'll start it running. It'll probably pop up over on my other screen, which it did. And I'm going to drag it back over here so you can see it. There it is. Let's try a load. And I don't happen to have a good text file in here, but we're going to drop down. We're going to go open. And there's my dialog box. And of course, this is probably to the wrong one. This is this one, yeah. And I really am going to go back to here and go into this one. Believe it or not, I do have some files in here, some rich text files in here. Okay, rich text files. That didn't do any good. Let's do all files and see where I'm at here. Well, that mustn't have been the right directory. Let's try again. Colors. Here it is. This is the one I really wanted to go to. Let's, instead of all files, let's just show you the difference here. Here we go. Color and dialog, project dialog, bin. There we go. Now you see it only shows rich text files. If I drop down here and go to all files, then it shows all the files in my box. Okay. That's why you put the one you want them to do first. Okay, I'm going to open up. I'm going to open up this one. And there it is. Rich text, sure enough, came right on the screen. Now, I can change it. No, I can't change it. Not here. Well, yeah, I can take some words out. Let's take over the lazy dog out. I can do that. All right. Now let's see if I can save it. And I'm not so sure I can really save it in here. It's going to come up in my original directory. I don't know if this is going to work that way, but let's give it a try. I want to call this BBBBBBBB, okay, and we'll save it. And there it's out there. BBBBB has been saved. Let's go see if it's saved. Let's wipe all of this out. Now I'm going to go File, Open, and let's go back to the original directory I was in. Oh, there it is. B, 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 B. And if I open it, sure enough, it's missing the words on the end. So it did save. It saved quite nicely. Okay. We're going to stop this now, and we're going to look at one other thing here. Let's just say, for the sake of it, and mainly for the sake of menus, in this tool menu, let's say I wanted to put a few things. Let's do background color. Background color, okay. And now under background color, I'm going to have several types. I'm going to have a red. I'm going to have a green. And I'm going to have a blue. Come on, blue. Okay, gotta name them. Let's start right here. MN Menu Tools BACKGROUND background. Oh, I didn't do that well, did I? BACKGROUND background. COLOR. And that takes care of that one, doesn't it? Okay, that took care of the naming of that one. We got to name the rest of them. Now this one is going to be even longer. And I'm thinking of a shortcut here. Let's see if I can pull off a shortcut here. What if I just highlight that? Control C. Okay, now let's go to red. And with red, I want to go Control V, red. Okay, worked like a charm. Here goes green now. Control V, green. And finally, Control V, blue. Okay, how does it look here? Green, red, green, blue. Okay. And this is just background color. Yeah, and tools. All right, now, to do this, let's double-click red. And again, I have a pre-written one of these things out here. So I'm just going to copy, and again, I'm going to have to do a little bit of dimming. All right, basically, when we click that, we want to change the background of our form to red. So what if I do me dot, is it background? Back color? I think that's it. Equals Control V. Now actually that's green, so let me change it to red. You can use several different ways of doing this. This is the RGB method of color. And I'll show you one of the others. Let's see, red would be 255 there. The colors go from 0 to 255. The standard color option. The first number is red. So for example, this is a full red with no green and no blue. Okay? Let's just see that again. Full red, 255 is the full red, no green, no blue. And that's how you can mix the colors. There's only 3 pixel colors on the screen. And you get all the colors by mixing those in different ways. Okay, so there's that one. Let's try the other one now. Let's try green. That'll be even easier. Control V. Let's see. Oh, we want me back color first. Me dot back color equals. Now notice how this drop-down list is. I could actually choose colors out of here if I wanted to. Get a load of these colors. There's a whole group of them. Color dot this, color dot that, exact colors. Or I can make my own mix. Now, you know what? I goofed on this one. I got to take this part out. I was going to show you putting a variable in there. You can put it in a variable. We're just going to put it right into the device itself. And why am I having trouble with color RGB? Okay, I'm back. You notice this changed rather radically here. I'm sorry I did that. I went out to the help menu to double check. In this particular version, it's from ARGB. From ARGB, not just RGB out there in front of it. So the from ARGB allows us to pull together the three color numbers and gives us an RGB color based on those three color numbers. Okay, so now we're down here again. Let's do color again, and I'm just going to go COL, try this again, COLOR dot, and then you can have all these, and we want AR, no, wait, from, I got to do from first, FRO, from ARGB, okay, here it is right there. And then I've got to put the three color numbers in. Parentheses, the amount of red, 0, comma, try again, 0, comma, the number of green, we want 255, comma, and the number of blue, we want 0, close parentheses. Okay, the last one we're going to do with one of the numbers. So let's get back to here quickly. Hit the blue twice, double click it, there we go. And now this one I'm going to say me dot back color equals, and now I can actually go down this list and pick it. I'd like to pick color blue, just like that, just to show you how that works that way. We can formulate it from the ARGB, and the A stands for the alpha value of the color. And then we can pick it from this right here, a direct color. So let's save it and see how that works. And I can only hope I got the right values in here. Again, it came off screen. Here it is. If I drop down Tools, go to Background Color, there's my menus. Let's do red for the background. Ooh, nice red background. Good. Let's go Tools, Background Color green. Yep, sure enough. And finally Tools, Background Color blue. And that works just as well. Okay, so just a quick review on this. We did a menu. I showed you how to put the separator var in. I showed you how to do the save and the open and the exit. We did not do. Let's do that quickly. And then we'll conclude this little tape, this little video. Okay, so to do exit, that's pretty simple. Go back here to there, double click the exit, and all we have to do is put me close. That's it. Save it, and we'll see if this works. Run it, and of course, as always, file, let's see if it goes. Goodbye, and it's done. All right, so basically to review, we've done menus, we've done opening and closing on rich text boxes, which by the way is a special type of opening and closing, and we've done how to place those items in menus and how to name menus. So as a project, I want you to create a form with a rich text box, just what I've shown you here, and the code that goes behind it to save and open. And perhaps maybe to do some color changing, instead of just background color, maybe put something in to change text color for selected items. So you'll have to draw on what we did in that previous project.